Just like that, another year has gone by, and with the passing year, the Cardano ecosystem continues to grow. Let's take a look at the highlights from 2022, all of the huge milestones that we've hit, and what we can all look forward to in 2023. Welcome back to Woodland Pools. Today, it's time for our special year-end weekly report. I'm all set here with my World Mobile Token sweater. I hope you guys are all having a great time with your families and enjoying the holidays. As I was preparing for this video, I was going back through all the different things we've covered, all the projects that have launched, and all the progress that they've made. And I've got to say, even though I literally cover this stuff every single week, and I feel like I'm pretty on top of everything that's going on, I was actually blown away when I put it all together and actually looked at the list of all the stuff that's happened this year. And actually, it just gave me an idea. Here's a fun game we can play. Pause the video here and write down all the things you can remember that was accomplished in Cardano this year. I'm going to go through what I think are the highlights from the year, and at the end, if you were able to remember all of these things that I covered off the top of your head, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And for the ones that I inevitably forgot, let me know about those too. We're going to go through a lot of projects and a lot of updates. If you want to dig into any of these, every single one of them will be linked down below. But okay, so let's jump in. Here's the way we're going to do it. Let's go through all the major milestones that we hit, what was the big thing that happened, and then looking forward to 2023, where we can expect to go from there. And to start, let's go back to the beginning of the year and try and remember that at the beginning of 2022, we only had one DEX on Cardano. SundaeSwap was the only one out there, and at the time, we didn't have any automated market maker DEXes. It's almost hard to remember because now we're just so used to having so many options, but at the end of 2021, SundaeSwap was the only name in the game. At the very beginning of the year, we finally got the launch of SundaeSwap, our first automated market maker DEX on Cardano, and one of the first early trials of the Cardano network in terms of scalability. This was a great test for the network, and it gave IOG some really tangible data about how the network performed under constant load. Remember on the very first day, some of these swaps took several days to go through, and now the network is lightning fast. So we had this big anticipation, SundaeSwap launched, we got the network tested, everything was still running, but there was only just the two of them, SundaeSwap and SundaeSwap, and then very shortly after, we got MinSwap, Wing Riders, and several others. And now there are so many options for DEXes. They have a beautiful site like Tap Tools, where you can actually see the price of any given token across all the DEXes and swaps. So for example, if I type in World Mobile Token, I can see the swap of World Mobile Token to ADA on SundaeSwap, MinSwap, Wing Riders. It's kind of cool to think about because at the end of last year, there was no need for something like Tap Tools because there wasn't really a market for swapping tokens back and forth. SundaeSwap, MinSwap, and Wing Riders coming out truly lifted the Cardano ecosystem and swapping tokens and the availability to do that to a whole new level. And so now looking forward and where we go from here, I know that SundaeSwap is working on a governance solution and they've been actively working on integrating Hydra into the SundaeSwapping, and this is still in the testing phases, but I'm really excited to see how these near instantaneous swaps plays out in the next year. Additionally, the same way how we were talking about how SundaeSwap brought the first ever automated market maker to Cardano, one of the projects that I'm really excited to see some more developments from in 2023, which I think could potentially bring us the same kind of energy level jump to the next level, is Axo, formerly Maladex. They've got some really ambitious goals on their DEX that they're soon going to launch, and the bold claim that with their implementation, they will solve the problem of impermanent loss. And similar to how 2022 was the launch of a bunch of different DEXes, it was also the launch of community wallets. And again, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around and remember because now there's just so many options and it feels like they've been around forever. But if you remember, in 2021, whenever we were talking about wallets in our videos or anybody in the community was talking about them, there was only really three options: Daedalus, Yoroi, and Adalite, and that was it. But the launch of these DEXes and all of these other smart contract enabled dApps necessitated wallets that could interact with these different applications. And the community responded strongly, and nearly immediately we got Nami Wallet, Eternl Wallet, formerly CC Vault, Typhon Wallet, Flint Wallet by DC Spark, and many more. These wallets have not only completely outpaced their predecessors, but now you can literally just choose your favorite UI, your favorite functionality, or even just your favorite team. And I actually use all of them on and off. So now looking forward, we can expect to see additional integrations from your favorite wallets into these different applications. Eternl, for example, has a dApp Explorer built into the wallet. The Jero wallet on its mobile application has a DEX aggregator where you can swap between multiple DEXes all without leaving your app. And so where entering 2022, the goal for wallets was just have something that we can use to interact with dApps. Now the race is on to be the most fully integrated, easy to use, and user-friendly wallet out there. And the other big thing that I'm looking forward to with wallets is we finally got a chance to play around with Lace, IOG's light wallet solution, a little bit earlier this year, but it's still on testnet right now. And I know they have really big plans for all the different functionality the wallet's going to have. So I'm really excited when we do this again next year to see where the Lace wallet is at and if they've been able to do their multi-chain integrations, if they're really able to integrate it with Mithril like they're planning. Really big plans on where where this wallet can go, and I'm curious to see how it plays out in the next 12 months. And with all those things we've covered, the DEXes, the wallets, everything, at that point in our timeline, we're still only at the very beginning of the year. If we now go to March of 2022, was the mainnet launch of adaHandle and the ability to be able to send from one wallet to another without having to remember the whole long address and type in a human readable address instead. Over the past year, adaHandle has done a lot of improvements to their site and their minting process, where they now integrate directly with your wallet and you don't have to do the whole email link verification and all of that. It's a really seamless process now. And looking forward, I'm very excited about their 2 Catalyst proposals that were funded for subhandles and personalization. Subhandles is going to give the ability for both individuals and organizations to be able to make things similar to subdomains and websites, where, for example, if you have the Acme adaHandle, you can do Treasury at Acme, John at Acme. The other piece that's coming out is personalization, with the ability to be able to build in some custom things into your adaHandle and stored there. So when you go from dApp to dApp, it remembers who you are. Maybe you prefer dark mode over light mode and things like that. Next, from an infrastructure standpoint, the kind of project that helps a lot of other projects build up. We saw the transformation of nft-maker, a fun hobby site that Patrick Tobler put together, transform into nMaker. nft-maker was a fun way that anybody could come and mint their own NFTs on Cardano without having to know anything about programming or all the metadata required. And nMaker still allows people to do that if we look at their list of products, but they're now well past that. If you still want to mint 1 or 2 NFTs for fun, you can come to the nMaker playground. If you want to do a whole release of NFTs, you can use the much more powerful nMaker Studio. nMaker Pay is a great way for other projects to be able to integrate with nMaker, and they can handle their own minting of the NFTs without having to worry about any of the complexities of trading ADA back and forth for those assets. They're working on a governance solution as well, from toy fun project last year to a fully fledged infrastructure company helping lots of other projects build up. I was talking to the nMaker team. Their plans for 2023 is to focus even more on these business-to-business solutions to help the whole ecosystem grow, and I'm guessing we're going to see a lot more from this nMaker agency, where they're going to be able to white label solutions for different companies to be able to launch the whole thing turnkey as if it was them, but fully running nMaker under the hood. Also, as an aside, this is not an official nMaker product, but it's run by a lot of the same people, including Patrick and others. I'm personally really excited to check out Rogue Galaxies, the next generation NFT gaming. You know how games go. They might work out or they might not. I'm really pumped about it. I bought a couple spaceships, so we'll see where this goes, but I am curious to look at this a year from now and see where the game is at and if it's actually rolled out. And to be clear, this is not me speculating on the value of my spaceship or anything else. I'm just excited to play a really fun game. But speaking of projects utilizing the nMaker APIs and all of this low-level work to make their project easier to run, one of my favorite projects right now on Cardano is Book.io. Book.io is an ebook platform where, utilizing NFTs that reside in your wallet, you actually own the book. When you're done reading it, you can send it to a friend, you can sell it in an exchange, all things that you can't do with something like an Amazon book on your Kindle or an Apple book on your iPad. And since their launch in August, look at how many books they've already released. Over 40 different books have already come out, some of them public domain classics, but others actually private authors that are now launching on their platform. And credit where credit's due, first private author to mint on Book.io was John Green, who wrote Cardano for the Masses. Great overview of the history of Cardano and where we're at right now. Moving forward, the Book.io team has some really ambitious plans for 2023, including mobile readers so you can read your book on your phone. And one of the things that I'm personally most excited about in the spirit of decentralization is they're going to open source their e-reader dApp, so any of your favorite wallets that we just covered can integrate the reader into the wallet and you can read the book from anywhere. I love that they're prioritizing this, and it's really nice to see them kind of rounding out from start to finish the idea of, yeah, these books are actually yours and Book.io just mints them, but after that has nothing to do with them. And if you ever want some top secret insights into what the Book.io team is planning on what's coming up next, you can always follow their Twitter account. So now fast forwarding to October, we had the mainnet launch of Charli3, Cardano's first oracle. Oracles enable a whole other category of applications that need outside data from the outside world to be able to respond to it on the blockchain. I had an awesome conversation with the Charli3 team where we really went into detail about how it all comes together and what their plans are, and I highly recommend you check that out. Currently, right now, they have a public and free feed for adaUSD. Their plans moving forward into 2023 are to add additional open and free price feeds for different asset pairs and some cool paid on-demand products like sports, weather, and other external factors that you can bring in. Similar to how smart contracts launched in September of 2021, but we didn't have a lot of our DEXes running until the spring of 2022. Charli3 launching here just now in October, I expect we're not going to really start seeing apps that fully utilize the power of a full running Oracle until maybe spring or summer of next year. So I'm really looking forward to looking back on this a year from now and seeing all the different things that have been enabled by Oracle services. Continuing on to November, another huge milestone and the release of Cardano's first ever stablecoin with iUSD. Stablecoins are critical for people to be able to swap back and forth, not necessarily between two volatile assets, but back to a reserve that is ideally stable and pegged to the dollar that they can hold whenever they want to hold and then buy in again later. This allows people to be able to buy and sell assets on the blockchain and not have to ever go back to fiat currency if they don't want to. So we went from 0 to 1 stablecoin, and by spring of 2023, we should have 2 more with the launch of Djed and Emergo's USDA. Now these 3 stablecoins all work slightly differently, which is actually a great thing because it gives people options on their preferred method of setting the stablecoin and which one they feel more comfortable with. Once again, another example of how we have a first and then shortly after multiple options for people's preferences. Now another project that I've been closely following throughout the year is World Mobile. We went into detail on World Mobile and their plans to connect the unconnected. Definitely check that out in terms of how all the infrastructure is going to come together. But they had a goal that by the end of the year, they wanted to have at least 225 air nodes live and running in Zanzibar. They were just under the wire and beat that goal with right now 226 air nodes live. All of these dots right here, we can see a live map on WMTscan.com of all of the air nodes that are live and running right now, providing cell phone service in Zanzibar. On a daily basis, there are over 20,000 unique users and over 2 terabytes of data being consumed through their network. So now looking forward, they recently released an updated roadmap. Here we are at the end of 2022. Earth nodes are the part in the infrastructure that facilitates the actual payment, receiving, and sending of the different World Mobile tokens to utilize the network. And these are going to be run by Earth node pool operators. Several of your favorite Cardano stake pool operators, including us at the ASPEN stake pool, have reserved Earth nodes, and we're waiting to take those live when the mainnet launches. And so the idea is that every Earth node operator will get an Earth node NFT, so that way if they want, they can move it from one wallet to the other, but it still verifies them being the owner operator of that Earth node. And those Earth node NFTs have already been minted and will be distributed out to the Earth node operators who have reserved those pools sometime very soon. Looking at next year, they're expecting in Q1 the mainnet should launch. The testnet is live right now. This is a super ambitious project, but one of the ones I am most excited about. We've got some people using it already, some really good usage data as of today, and I'm really pumped to see where we can get 1 year from now. And continuing with what seems to be this year's theme of from one to many, let's talk conferences. Last year we just had the Cardano Summit in Wyoming, and that was the only conference that we had. This year we had a huge showing of the Cardano ecosystem at the Consensus Blockchain Conference. That was in June. In October we had CNFTCon in Las Vegas. Less than a week later we had Rare Bloom here in warm sunny Colorado, and less than a month after that was the official Cardano Summit hosted in Switzerland and live streamed with sponsored meetups all across the world. So we had strong showing at 4 different conferences this year, and all 4 are going to be coming back. At Consensus next year, I expect the Cardano contingent to be even stronger. CNFTCon has already announced their dates for 2023, and Rare Bloom has become the Rare Evolution, which will take place in August of next year. No dates yet for the Cardano Summit 2023. They only let us know usually a month or 2 before, but I'm certain they're going to be doing another one, and I can't wait to check that out next year. And so now thinking back again to the beginning of the year when we were talking about the SundaeSwap launch and how it was really testing the network in terms of throughput, in the past 12 months we've seen huge developments in terms of the throughput of the network. If we look back at pool.pm, we can see that now at any given time, the network's only at a 30-40% load. When there's big NFT launches, you'll see this spike into the 90s. But otherwise, my experience on Cardano lately has been sending transactions and arriving within minutes. Many times in less than a minute. It's truly blazing fast these days. But for all the stuff that we've been talking about and all these big projects that are going to be building out and to future-proof us moving forward, there are some big protocol updates that we're expecting in 2023. One of them is diffusion pipelining, and the other one is input endorsers. I went into detail about both of these, so you can check out the video on that, but I'm really curious to see at the end of the year, how far along are we on this, and just how fast can we make the network in preparation for huge network loads. But okay, I know that was a lot. If we want to take a step back and reflect at a very high level how the year went, a great way to look at that is with the Cardano blockchain insights. You can see here very clearly that the percent of total ADA staked continues to creep upwards. The total number of ADA wallets and number of delegators keeps going up. The total number of native tokens keeps going up. And we look at the execution of smart contracts per day. We can see that also is continuing straight up. Everything about the Cardano network right now, even during a bear market, from this very technical and fundamental level, has me very excited about where we can go once the market pendulum swings back. And if you want to dig into any of these projects that we talked about, Cardano Cube is a wonderful way to explore the hundreds of different projects building in the Cardano ecosystem. And before we head out, I really want to take a moment to stop and say a huge heartfelt thank you to all of our delegators that have supported us this year. There's now almost 800 of you. It's so awesome to see. The ASPEN stake pool has now minted 400 blocks, and just a week ago, the pool turned 2 years old. As I always say, we truly appreciate your support, and we're so excited to be on this journey with you. Let's keep growing together. And so with that, that's 2022. I am so excited to see where we're at 1 year from now. Let me know down below what you're most excited about. Let me know if I missed anything. I probably missed an update here or there. And if nothing else, we'll see you next year.